everyone, I'm Rachel and welcome back to Conversations with Dental Friends, the go-to podcast for dental professionals who are ready to grow, shake things up and explore how far their career could take them. Today's episode is such a good one. I'm chatting to the lovely Rebekka Hamilton, an orthodontic therapist, and let me tell you, I genuinely didn't realise how expansive and fulfilling this role could be until our chat. There's so much more to orthodontic therapy than I ever imagined, and Rebekka breaks it all down in such a relatable and inspiring way. So if you're a dental nurse thinking about what's next, if you're curious about expanding ortho in your practice, or if you're just someone who, like me, had no idea what an orthodontic therapist actually does, this episode is definitely for you. Before we dive in, a quick favour, if you're listening and enjoying the podcast, if you could just take a tiny wee second and hit follow. It's easy to forget, but most of our listeners aren't following yet, and following helps us grow the pod, bringing on even more inspiring guests and making sure you never miss a new episode. Right, let's get into it. Here's Rebekka Hamilton on all things orthodontic therapy. This podcast is sponsored by Dental, a company that's been setting the standard in dental innovation for over 80 years. Whether it's their ultra-reliable suction systems, world-class hygiene solutions, or cutting-edge dental imaging technology, Dental supports dental professionals who take their craft seriously. Check them out at durdental.com because excellence starts with the tools you trust. And of course, a huge congratulations to Orthodontic celebrating 60 incredible years this year. Happy birthday, Orthodontic. Here's to many more years of innovation and excellence. I truly couldn't imagine the dental industry without you. So happy birthday from Conversations with Dental Friends. Hi there, Rebekka.
Hello.
Welcome to Conversations with Dental Friends. Thank you so much for being part of this podcast. It really means so much to me to have the entire dental team be represented. And you, Rebekka, are an orthodontic therapist, which is a fabulous role that I don't know loads about. So today is a fact-finding mission for me as well. So I'm very, very grateful for you being involved. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Let's kick things off with your journey. How did you first get into dentistry and what does your career look like today?
Yeah, I got into dentistry in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So I was leaving school after sixth form.
Yes.
Kind of had no idea what route I wanted to go down.
Yes.
I applied to universities because that's what we done in
That's what everybody was doing.
That was just what you done in sixth form. So applied to university, applied to study health and social care. But I just wasn't fully committed.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, do I really want to spend 3 years on this course? And it's not something I'm 100% done.
Yes. And it's so expensive as well. You know, you're getting yourself into debt and everything else.
So I had a look online, found dental nursing, and I thought it's a 1 year course. We'll go for it. We'll just give it a go.
What have we got to lose?
Yeah. So I started that in September 2014 and I'm still in dentistry. Turned out I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a full-time course at the Belfast Met Titanic Quarter. And I'd done 3 days at the Tech, 2 days in general practice.
Okay.
And so that was for a year. Then after the course finished, I got a job as a trainee dental nurse in another general practice. And I worked there for about a year while I was sitting my exams and waiting on the results and stuff coming.
Yes.
And then qualified, it was 2016. And then I was just recently qualified and got a job at Total Orthodontics.
Yeah.
And I'm still at Total Orthodontics.
Total Orthodontics, Antrim Road crew.
Yeah.
Shout out to Campus 9.
So I was dental nursing at Total Orthodontics for just over 6 years. And 2 of those years I was lead dental nurse.
Great.
And then I finally got the opportunity to become an orthodontic therapist. So I applied to the course in 2022.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then never looked back.
Never looked back.
Never looked back. Orthodontic therapy might be a bit of a mystery to some of our listeners. Rebekka, can you give us the lowdown on what the role actually involves and what a typical day looks like for you in practice?
So an orthodontic therapist is someone who works under the prescription of an orthodontist.
Yeah.
I work most closely with Dr. Stephen Gallagher, and we also have a consultant that works with us who is Darren Johnston.
Fab.
So patient will be booked in with their orthodontist for their first appointment, and the orthodontist will come up with a treatment plan, and then the patient will be booked in with either myself or the other therapist to, for their bond up, which is placing the brackets for their fixed appliances.
Excellent.
And then we sort of keep that patient on our books, and then we'll see the patient every 6 to 8 weeks. Stephen or whoever the orthodontist is will come over every second appointment just to make sure that they're happy with how everything's looking. Treatment wise, we can do quite a lot. We can bond fixed appliances, adjust fixed appliances. We can debond fixed appliances. We can bond fixed retainers.
Wow. Okay. Do you want to do mine?
To be honest,
My head is in a nightmare right now.
We can fit removable appliances as well. We can do orthodontic records, so photographs, impressions, intraoral scanning. We can do some lab work, radiographs. You have to have your radiography to do the course. So there's quite a lot we can do.
That sounds like such an incredible role.
Yeah, it's fun and it's so hands-on as well.
Yes, absolutely. How did you find out about orthodontic therapy?
To be honest, I didn't even know it existed until I joined the practice, and then we already had an orthodontic therapist there, and that's how I found out. Really.
And just were really inspired by them, and sort of saw that as the direction you wanted your career to go.
And they started off as a dental nurse as well, so it's pretty cool.
And where did you study?
I studied at University of Central Lancashire, which is in Preston.
And did you have to move away then?
No.
Oh,
so
very
it's
good.
a 1-year course.
Yeah.
And you train mostly in practice.
Right.
And you just go back and forward. So there's a 2-week block at the beginning of the course. And then, so that was in the June.
Yes.
Then you come back for the summer, and you went over to Preston again in September for, I think it was 2 weeks. And then after that, it was 2 days a month for the rest of the year.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I think
so good.
Sometimes whenever we're thinking about different ways of pivoting your career as a dental nurse, and one of those avenues is dental hygiene or dental therapy, but we are quite restricted here that there is no school yet, because I will be always an advocate of that, but there is no school here for dental hygiene or dental therapy. So you have to uproot your life to move somewhere else in the UK or down south that will facilitate your career wants and needs and aspirations.
Doesn't it?
Such a commitment. So I think that's absolutely brilliant that you can stay here, because that is a boundary or an invisible barrier that potentially will not be flexible around your life.
Especially people who maybe do have children and they still want to progress in the area, they can still do that if they have good support, you know. But I'm lucky I didn't have responsibilities of children. I just have dogs.
Yes.
You know, I was able to commit myself anyway, but it was a short course. It was 1 year. It was a tough year, but we got it done.
Excellent. And there was obviously theory aspects of that then, and an exam, record of experience, that kind of thing.
You had 2 written papers, which were 2 hours long, and then you had 2 case presentations. So you had 2 patients who you documented their journey in the beginning. So you had to present your cases, and then you had a viva.
Yes.
So it was a series of photographs, and you had to discuss what was on them. So that was a 15-minute oral exam, and it was intense.
Yeah.
They just put a photograph down in front of you. And
Tell me about
it, and then they flipped to the next one. But it was a tough course, but it was worth it.
I think that's amazing.
It was tough because you still have to work full time. So
yes.
I was working 5 days a week, and then coming home and studying, and then flying over to Preston.
Yes.
But it was worth the hard work.
And did you find your practice were supportive though, whenever you needed that time off?
Yeah,
and
definitely
to explore those options. That's wonderful. That's amazing. And I think a year passes regardless, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, like the time will pass regardless. And if you could just get into that mental head space of I'm putting my head down and I'm getting this done, you can achieve and do anything. It's absolutely blown my mind how much you can do.
Yeah. And the day, so now that I'm qualified, my typical day, it's a bit of everything every day. So you'll have a few bond ups, you'll have a few debonds, you'll have mostly adjustments. So it breaks your day up. You've got something different coming in
all the time.
Yeah.
And how long do you get for your appointments?
They all range. An adjustment's about 20 to 25 minutes. That gives time for Stephen the orthodontist to come over and have it, make sure they're happy. Putting the fixed appliances on take about 40 to 50 minutes. And that includes us chatting with the parent and the patient at the end with some instructions. Yeah, the longest treatment would be putting the braces on, which would be about 40 to 50 minutes.
And what's your favourite thing to do that's within your scope?
Probably a debond.
Yeah.
Because you've had that patient through their whole journey, and then this is the day they're getting the braces off, and you can show them their before and afters, and they're always so happy.
They're buzzing, I'm sure.
That's probably my favourite one.
Yeah, so rewarding to be part of that journey for the patient. What was it that drew you specifically to orthodontic therapy? Was there a particular moment or experience that sparked your interest?
I think so. I started as a just newly qualified dental nurse, and then seeing other orthodontic therapists who had came from the same background as me, it was inspiring that they have went from the same position I was at to become an orthodontic therapist. So that was also always interesting. And then as the years went on, dental nursing is a fantastic job, but I just wanted something more hands-on.
Yes.
And I had to make a change, whether it was doing orthodontic therapy or something else.
Yes.
I took the lead nurse position on, and it did give me more responsibility, but that was going more down a management route than clinical route.
Yes.
So ideally, I want to do the orthodontic therapy, but it's not something that you can just go and apply to do next year. Right. There has to be a plan put in place within your practice. So there was a stage that I was getting, so I couldn't go and do my therapy, and I was like, what am I going to do?
Yes.
Am I going to have to change career?
Yes.
Because I wasn't getting that opportunity to go and do the orthodontic therapy. I actually applied to other dental practices as a dental nurse because I was thinking, right, I need a change. Maybe if I go down the route of something more in like a private setting, more aesthetic nursing, something different, But I turned down some jobs because I had in my heart that if I just stick where I am, one day I will get the opportunity to go and do the orthodontic therapy. And it came in it.
So you nearly need to work backwards then, because you need, first of all, a mentor. That's a huge part of it. You need somebody that's willing to support you through it. And ultimately then you probably need a job at the end.
Yeah, so there has to be a need for you in that practice.
Yes.
So it's not a course that you can just decide, oh, next year I'm going to go and apply to do more orthodontic therapy. You need to speak to the practice.
Yes.
Ask them, can I go and train? Would there be a position for me to become an orthodontic therapist? Would I have you have to have a chair to work in?
Yes.
Yeah, so there has to be that availability for you. You also have to have a mentor who's willing to spend the time and effort, because 90% of your training is done in your practice.
Yes.
You only go to university for the theory side, and then the rest of it's all within your practice.
Did Stephen have to do any additional training to mentor you? Did he have to do teaching?
No, he went over for like an induction day, and they guided him on what kind of treatments I need to be seeing. But no, it was pretty much, you just get stuck in.
Yeah.
And Stephen would have came over I think he came over when I was training at every appointment, basically, to just guide me on what I was doing, especially at the beginning, because I was nervous.
Oh, of course. I'd be terrified.
Yes. One day I was a nurse, and the next day I was on the other end of the chair. Yeah. But no, the team was really supportive, really good.
And it is a fab team. It is a fab team at Total Orthodontics on the Antrim Road. For someone listening, Becca, who's maybe feeling a bit stuck or just ready for a change like you were, how would you recommend they go about retraining or stepping into orthodontic therapy? I know you've touched on that there, but is there any sort of step-by-steps that you would take?
Yeah, I mean, if you already have it in place that this could be an opportunity for you to go and do in the future, you have to have your radiography.
Yes.
Because you have to be able to read and identify what's on the radiographs. And I would recommend orthodontic nursing.
Right.
I didn't have my orthodontic nursing, but anyone who I've spoken to who's maybe thinking about doing it, I've been recommending it because 2 reasons. It's going to be easier to get onto a course.
Yeah.
I got rejected from two universities because I didn't have it.
Okay.
So I've been very lucky to even get on
Yes.
to the course, to be honest. And then I also struggled a bit at the start of my course because all the basics that you would have learnt on your orthodontic nursing course, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
So when I was on the orthodontic therapy, things like definitions, your components of your appliances, all the small wee details, I didn't know those just yet. So that would be really beneficial.
That resonates so much with me, Becca, because I didn't do my dental nursing before I did my dental hygiene.
Yeah.
So I had to teach myself how to be a dental nurse
I'm sure that was
in the evenings.
Yeah.
Because although it wasn't a core complicit part of the course, it was glossed over in ways because 9 of those other 10 people had already had that experience of being a dental nurse. So I completely understand where you're coming from with that. So where could you train to do orthodontic nursing?
I think it's mostly online.
Online, okay.
There's one of our nurses who's currently going through orthodontic nursing. I think it's through Tempdent.
Tempdent.
Yeah. I'm not sure of anybody in. I'm sure offer an orthodontic nursing course, and the BDA might do one as well. I'm not 100% sure, but we could check those out.
Excellent. And I'll research that and pop that into the show notes. And then you mentioned there that you were rejected from a couple of universities. Which universities, if you can remember off the top of your head, offer orthodontic therapy?
So, well, mine was at University of Lancashire. There's Manchester. There's King's, which is in London.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Yorkshire have one, and Belfast now have one this year.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is the first year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they all have a different examining board. So there's Royal College of Surgeons Edinburgh, which is the examining board that I used.
Yes.
I think Belfast is Royal College of Surgeons England.
Okay.
But they all give you the same. And it's just different exams, but I think they're similar now.
And there'll be a similar kind of format in that you'll still be able to, if you did decide to go to London or Manchester, that you would still be able to be in Belfast or Liverpool or wherever you kind of are, but do the course. I'm not going to say remotely. There is still an element of it, of course, that you need to be there.
You basically are at home. You're just visiting every month.
Yes. This episode is sponsored by Lighthouse Dental Company, your partner in creating beautiful, functional dental practices. From equipment supply and servicing to full refurbishments, including flooring, cabinetry, electronics and plumbing, they manage the entire project so that dentists can focus on what matters first, their patients. You can explore how they bring practices to life at lighthousedentalcompany.com.
So, yeah, Belfast is obviously really handy. It wasn't an option when I was doing it, but I mean, it was easy enough to get back and forward to England. I booked my flights early enough and went on the Sunday. It was usually a Monday, Tuesday that I went, and then home the Tuesday night.
And did you have to self-fund your course, or were you supported by your practice?
I was supported by the practice.
Amazing.
Which was amazing, yeah. It's roughly about, I think it's about 13,500, 14,000 pounds.
Okay. And
so it is a lot of money to self-fund it.
Yeah.
And not all practices are going to be able to offer that as well.
Becca, what kind of person do you think really thrives in this role? Are there certain traits or skills that make someone well suited to orthodontic therapy?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be obviously kind to the patients, like every role. You have to be welcoming. Most of your patients are going to be children, so you need to be able to adapt to them and make them feel welcome coming in.
Yeah.
They're all usually very nervous coming.
Yeah.
And then they don't have anything to be nervous about. And to be honest, whenever they come for their bond-up appointment, they are nervous to begin with. And then by the time they're leaving, that was really easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to be patient with them, explain everything, adapt to children's different abilities. We have children who come in and whiz through it, but there's also children who are very anxious or maybe have sensory issues.
Yes, huge.
Autistic children, you know, there's a range that you have to be able to work with. So you just be very patient with them and welcoming. You're also going to be building a relationship with this patient. They're coming in every 6 to 8 weeks. So,
and their parent.
Yeah. So,
or caregiver or whoever's attending with them, because obviously a lot of these people aren't coming alone. You're dealing with a lot of teenagers, and hats off to you for dealing with teenagers all day long. That's not for everyone.
No, but yeah, just be friendly with them. And actually, they usually like to have a chat, to be honest.
Yes.
Once, you know, if I'm waiting on Stephen or whatever orthodontist coming over, I'll just have a chat with them, ask them how school's going, and they appreciate it. You know, they'll chat back, and then they'll ask me questions too. So you build that wee relationship. So just be friendly with them.
Yeah. And academically, did you find it a tough course? Was it quite, say, you have done your radiography, would it be comparable level of difficulty to a radiography course or something like that?
It would be more difficult.
More difficult, yes. And radiography is already difficult.
Yeah. I struggled a bit at the start, to be honest with you. I just felt so overwhelmed. It was just so much information, and I felt like I knew a lot as a dental nurse.
Yeah, because you're already working in the ortho practice, so these aren't completely alien foreign concepts.
But what everything was actually used for, I was so overwhelmed. That's where the orthodontic nursing would come in really handy, because you would learn what all the appliances do, and all the different types of appliances. There was appliances that I didn't even know existed, because you don't use them. Yeah. So it was difficult. My mentor was also quite strict and put a lot of pressure, but I wanted to prove that I could do it.
Yes.
So I worked my ass off.
Oh my goodness, yes. You're a girl after my own heart.
I literally worked my ass off and made sure that I passed that, because I had to, for myself and to prove that I could do it. But yeah,
and to make it
was tough. And you chatted before about imposter syndrome. You just feel like you can't do it at times, but you can. You just have to put the work in.
You just have to put the work in, believe in yourself, and know that people do it.
Yeah.
And they have great careers, and it's just getting through those constraints of exam and everything else that you can get there. I love that, and I think it's so brilliant that you put yourself out there and did that, and just said to yourself, no limits.
Yeah.
I'm going for it.
When I was in class, I wouldn't have been very outspoken.
Sure.
So they maybe thought that I didn't know as much as what I did know.
But really,
I was just taking it all in. But then I think it was kind of, I don't know if she knows as much as what she does know, but I was putting in the work. I wasn't as vocal as some other people.
And not everybody can be outspoken. And I think sometimes a lot of that is bravado, and actually everybody has different learning styles. Everybody approaches a problem in a different way. Everybody solves a problem in a different way. So I think, yes, hopefully you were able to say haha to anybody that was short-sighted. That was short-sighted of a process.
We got there in the end.
Excellent.
Tough. A lot of work, but it was a 1-year course, so it's doable.
It's doable, but also it's a lot of information to get into 1 year.
It could really be spread over 2 years, but
I'm sure it could be spread over 5. I would need to be 5 if I was thinking about it. You're currently working in a fully ortho-focused practice, which is quite different from general dentistry. Do you think orthodontic therapy could work well within a general practice setting? And if so, how could practices make the most of that?
Yeah,
it's a hard one.
It is a hard one. I think it would work really well, because for an in-house referral system, it'd be great for the patient as well, because they would be going to the one practice. So if the patient was going to their general dentist for a checkup and they were being referred to an orthodontist, if we had everyone in the same practice, it would be really helpful. And also for us, if we needed extractions, we could easily communicate. It would just be really easy for ourselves referrals. But it would also be really good. We have patients who maybe have missing natural incisors. So if we're creating space, it means we could get the dentist to come in and have a look. Yeah. Sure, they're happy with his space. that we've created.
And are we then thinking about something cosmetic? Are we thinking about bridge work? Are we thinking about implants even? You know?
Or even for someone who needs a clean with a hygienist. You know, it would just be...
And I'm sure you need a lot of that.
Yeah.
I actually did the most awesome course called the Women's Oral Health Roadshow with Claire Berry and Ben Ty, and it was just brilliant. And it was basically talking about hormone change from cradle to grave, and one of those things was puberty. And they basically said we put orthodontics on teenagers at the worst time, because basically they've had no reaction. Hello.
Yeah.
And they also have a brace then to contend with, and you're thinking about that kind of like hyperplasia, overgrowth, difficulty cleaning, motivating the patient, what's best for the patient in terms of scheduling and school times, and you don't want the patient to get lost in the ether of between appointments. And well, that's one of the things that we've tried to do with our now Bupa campus, where we can refer to each other in different locations and communicate. But I think that's such a good point about hygiene, because kids need a lot, like 3 monthly minimum, I say, whenever they have a brace.
I mean, yeah, some of the cases that come in, we could do with having a hygienist in the practice that we could refer to. So yeah, it would be, I think it would work well. Yeah. Whether or not it would happen, I don't know, but yeah, it's something for the future.
And can you do anything with regards to Invisalign?
Yeah, so we can fit the aligners. Obviously, against the orthodontist would come up with the treatment plan for that patient, but we can fit it out.
So some of the treatment that you're doing is removable as well as fixed. Yeah. Lots of removable orthodontic appliance providers are available.
I'm going on an Invisalign course next month, actually.
That's awesome. Yeah. Tell me all about it.
So it's mainly to kind of get a bit of an insight on the attachments for Invisalign. Yes. I haven't really touched on that. I mean, I've learned what Invisalign is, how to use it, but not how to actually put the attachments on. So it'll be interesting to go to the workshop.
You can do that as a therapist.
Yeah.
Incredible. And whereabouts is your course?
It's in Birmingham. It's just a 1-day course.
Lovely. Yeah. And how did you find out about it?
They contacted the practice.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was Bupa who raised through to it.
And is it tailor-made for orthodontic therapists?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I just get so excited about things, and I also have had 4 coffees, so that's it. That's amazing. I love that. So I think, especially whenever you think now about how many practices are doing Invisalign and how much appointment time those adjustment appointments take, that could be relieved from maybe the dentist book to create space for other things that will be outside of, or an orthodontic therapist's scope of practice, to have that opportunity. I think especially with Invisalign, because there's not just as many practices offering fixed ortho now as there are Invisalign. I think that's really exciting.
And Invisalign is really growing. It's what all the adult patients come in, they tend to want it as well.
That's what they want. That's what I had.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, Stephen would be really keen on us doing it as well. We, at the minute, aren't treating any Invisalign patients, but he would be keen to do it. So.
And would you have a lot of NHS referrals in your practice?
Oh yeah, it's mostly NHS. And at the minute, any private patients with the Invisalign are with Stephen. So it would be nice for us to just have in a wee bit, So, yeah, and I'm interested to go and do the Invisalign course just to see.
I think it's so exciting. You've moved, Becca, into a new clinical role while staying in the same practice, which happens all the time, but it's not the easiest thing to do. It can be a big shift, not just professionally, but in terms of that team dynamic as well. And you mentioned there that you were the lead dental nurse. What was the transition like for you, and what advice would you give someone navigating a similar change within their current team?
Yeah, it was difficult moving from a dental nurse to an orthodontic therapist, and it's basically just being on the other end of the chair. It was just very daunting. Yeah. And even asking the nurses for instruments, I just felt really weird.
It was just awkward.
Yeah,
awkward.
And they were laughing at me because they could see how awkward I was getting.
Yeah.
So it's really not that big of a deal, but it's hard to get used to. And I thought I would have been okay with it because I was lead nurse.
Yes.
And I was already maybe just delegating some wee roles, but no, it was such a change. Just asking people for even instruments, or I don't know, it was just, it was really strange. And then treatment-wise, my first patient coming back was a D-bond, and I remember holding this slow handpiece in my hand, shaking.
Yeah.
So I was so scared using it, even though it's a slow handpiece, but it just takes a bit of time to get used to it. And to be honest, after a couple of days, it was fine.
Yes, you're flying.
Yeah.
It's just that initial change in dynamics, I suppose, because we don't, although it does happen, definitely. I have previously worked in a role, and the dental hygienist that works there now was my dental nurse at a time. So there are definitely occasions where you will change in dental hygiene or dental therapy from being a dental nurse in a practice to then coming back in there with a different role. But usually for dental hygiene, dental therapy, you're starting off fresh somewhere new.
Yeah.
Whereas, as you mentioned, because the practice plays such a vital role in your course and your development, you nearly need to be on board with that.
You do.
Professional change in practice as well.
I was very lucky that I had the whole team supporting me, though, and they were proud and excited for me to do this course as well. So that made it easier. So the nurses were encouraging me, and Stephen was helping me out if I needed help. So it was tough changing, but I had the support there, which helped me through it. So that's wonderful. Everyone did really support me, so I can't.
That's lovely. I love that. I'm so happy that you have such an amazing team around you. And finally, Rebekka, what's next for you? Where do you see your career heading as you continue to grow within dentistry?
Yeah, it's a tough one. For now, I'm only recently qualified.
Yes.
It's only coming up to 2 years. So for now, I'll probably just develop on the skills I already have. So go on to courses and try to make myself better. In the future, I would maybe consider, just maybe, helping out at like a teaching school.
I love that, yes.
I don't know, maybe, or an examiner. You can go and become an examiner or something. I don't know. That would be in the future. At the minute, I'm happy enough just to develop my skills and go on courses.
Brilliant. But I think you always, at some point you get to that stage where you feel you want to help.
Yeah.
And I can see that for you, definitely, how you could move into that space.
Yeah, I do like helping other people, and some of the nurses would be really interested as well. So why are you doing this and why are you doing that? And I would explain it to them. So maybe I would like to go down that route at some point, but for now I am content where I am.
Yes.
But maybe in the future I would like to teach.
That's wonderful.
Teaching. Yeah.
That's wonderful, and I think you'd be excellent at it.
Thank you.
Well, this, Rebekka, has been such a brilliant chat. I've learned so much about the role of an orthodontic therapist. Can't see why more people aren't doing it. Think that it would be an excellent next step if you wanted to take one and you felt that you wanted to expand your career as a dental nurse or as an orthodontic nurse, or you were looking for even a little bit more information. I will link as much as I can in the show notes. I might ask you for some help with resources and things with that, but this was such a brilliant chat, and I loved it. Thank you so much, and thank you for agreeing. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rachel.
How brilliant was that chat? Honestly, I left this conversation with Rebekka feeling just so inspired, not just by her journey, but how much potential there is in orthodontic therapy as a career path. Whether you're a dental nurse looking for your next step or a practice owner thinking about how to expand your ortho offering, I hope this episode got your mind whirring. It's so clear that orthodontic therapy is more than just a clinical role. It's a way to have a real impact on patient care, feel challenged, and also carve out a fulfilling career in dentistry that evolves with you. If you're curious and want to explore how to become an orthodontic therapist in the UK, here are a few training providers you might want to check out. I'll also, of course, be popping all these links in the show notes. University of Central Lancashire, Birmingham Dental Hospital, King's College London, Leeds Dental Institute, Bristol Dental School, University of Liverpool, Edinburgh Postgraduate Dental Institute. Whether you're ready to apply or just gathering info right now, it's worth having a look and seeing what sparks your interest. If you loved this episode, take a second to share it with a friend, post it to your stories, or tag us in your thoughts. You'll find the podcast at Conversations with Dental Friends, and I'm over at Homegirl Hygienist. Come say hi, drop me a DM, and let me know what stood out for you. And if you're a practice owner or a dentist, may this be your sign to explore adding an orthodontic therapist to your team or investing in your team's development. Sometimes a new role can just change everything. Thanks again for listening, and thank you to Rebekka for being such a brilliant guest. I'll see you next week for another episode of Conversations with Dental Friends.